The table was set for a birthday. 20 candles burned on the cake. Naoki's mother smiled, but Naoki only watched the clock.
47 times I've watched this cake go uneaten. 47 times I've died before dessert.
Midnight. The grandfather clock began its chime, and Naoki's body seized as if struck by lightning. He dropped. The fork never reached the plate. His mother's birthday wish died on her lips. Then, without warning, the world reset. Naoki blinked and was sitting upright, cake untouched.
Loop 47. Hi, Mom.
A fresh golden rune flared on his collar, joining the 46 marks that scarred the crimson fabric. The curse counted every death.
Another god-tier skill added to the pile. It never helps. I always reset.
His parents laughed and passed plates, never knowing their son had been dying and reviving for decades.
Enough. This time, I am going to end it, even if it kills me for good.
Beneath the birthday smiles, Naoki's hands shook with the memory of 47 deaths.
Why does this time feel different? After all these loops, I still feel a flicker of hope.
47 god-tier skills scarred his soul. Fire that razed cities, frost that halted time, lightning that split the sky.
Each power was a curse gift, and still I die when the clock strikes 12.
On loop 30, a monster's claw had torn through his heart. He'd woken gasping at this same table.
Loop 40. I died, staring into his face. The mage was laughing. He's never stopped.
The mage was sealed in a tomb, but alive. Naoki had spent dozens of loops finding it.
I've mapped every trap, every guardian. I could walk there blindfolded.
His collar burned with 47 golden runes. One for each death, each a key.
This time, I'll use them all. This time, I end the curse.
The curse was not random. It was planted long before Naoki's first breath. His grandfather, a knight, had struck down a rogue mage in a duel. The mage's final act was vengeance. As he bled out, the mage pointed at the newborn and whispered the curse that would kill him at 20. On loop 37, Naoki found the journal in the attic. His grandfather's guilt poured onto every page.
He didn't die. The mage sealed himself in a tomb, alive but trapped.
The journal mapped the tomb's location on the eastern mountain. It described traps that no ordinary man could survive. But Naoki had died 47 times. Each death forged a skill, and each skill was a key.
I've bled in every corridor, triggered every trap. I know his prison better than he does.
Naoki stood from the table. His mother's birthday wish caught in her throat as she saw his face.
No more resets. I am ending this curse.
Naoki had not merely survived 47 deaths. He had studied every failure. The tomb's layout haunted his sleep.
46 floors. 93 runic seals. I've mapped every trap, every guardian, every dead end.
Stone golems guarded the third corridor, on loop 9. Naoki had been crushed there.
Frost to freeze them. Lightning to shatter their cores. I've tested it.
The final chamber door was bound by a curse that drained life itself. Only the 47 marks could unlock it.
Each death gave me a key. Now, I have all 47.
But time was the real enemy. He had from sunrise to midnight, less than 16 hours to end 47 lifetimes of agony.
If I fail, I die again. They'll never know the truth.
Naoki folded the map, his jaw set. No more hesitation. He turned toward the door.
I am going to that tomb, and this time, I am not coming back.
By noon, Naoki stood before the tomb. Its stone door pulsed with violet runes, just as the journal described.
The fire of my 13th death. This seal breaks now.
The door crumbled inward. A dark corridor swallowed the light, its walls covered in ancient runes and stone spikes. A blade trap swung from the ceiling. Naoki extended his hand, and frost sealed the mechanism solid.
Shadow cloak, loop 22. I am a ghost.
The corridor opened into a high chamber. Stone groaned. The golem rose, its fists like boulders.
It killed me once. Lightning shatters its core.
He called the lightning of his 33rd death. A blinding bolt punched through the golem's chest. The golem crumbled. Naoki bent over, breathing hard, but the path was clear.
These runes again. The riddle changes each loop, but I've solved it 46 times.
Naoki pressed the final rune. The stone door groaned open, revealing a vast chamber bathed in sickly violet light. He stepped inside. The air prickled with magic. Somewhere in the dark, stone ground against stone, clear and cold came the memory. Loop 26. The golem had cornered him here. Its fist came down, and the world broke into birthday candles.
I see it now. The core isn't in the chest. The left shoulder holds the key.
The golem emerged, a towering brute of curse-etched granite, its fists swiping through the air.
It's slow, predictable. I've fought it a dozen times in my nightmares.
Naoki dashed forward, lightning gathering along his fingertips. He aimed for the shoulder joint. A spear of lightning shot from his hand, piercing the exact point where the rune was weakest. The golem's arm hung limp. Then its entire body convulsed. Cracks raced and it crumbled to dust.
Now only the inner sanctum remains. The mage is close.
The inner chamber door loomed, carved with the same 47 interlocking runes that scarred his collar.
It demands payment for passage. My entire cursed life force.
Naoki pressed his palm flat against the stone. Instantly, the runes blazed, and his blood turned cold as the marks ignited. He felt each death being siphoned away. Loop 15, loop 32. The drain was a scream down his spine. His knees buckled. A lesser man would have fallen, but Naoki held, feeding every scrap of energy into the seal.
47 keys. I swore I'd use them all.
The door groaned, then split apart, releasing a torrent of violet light. Naoki stumbled forward over the threshold. He caught himself on one knee, gasping. Every muscle screamed, but he was inside.
He's here. After 47 deaths, the mage who cursed me is right there.
The final door slammed shut behind him. There was no retreat now, only the confrontation he had waited 47 lifetimes to face. The inner chamber was a crypt of violet shadows. On a stone throne carved from the same cursed runes, slumped a withered figure, the mage Malik.
47 times you fed me your death. 47 skills burned into your soul. I've counted every one.
I didn't come for conversation. Lift the curse, or I'll tear it out of you.
You cannot. These runes sustain what's left of me. If they break, I crumble.
Then I'll shatter every rune in this tomb and end your miserable existence.
You'd kill us both? How noble. But you'd never find the exit before your own clock strikes midnight.
Naoki's eyes traced the pulsing violet threads that ran from Malik's chest directly to the 47 marks on his collar. The curse was a cage for both of them.
He's not just a prisoner. He's the heart of this place. Why did you curse me? The truth.
The truth. This curse was never about revenge. It was about survival. Ours. When your grandfather struck me down, I should have died. But I wove this curse to feed on your life. Every loop, I steal a day.
You've been using my deaths as a battery. 47 times I've died, and each one kept you alive.
47 days. I've lived past my time. You are my immortality. Boy, without you, I would have rotted centuries ago.
The violet threads pulsed like a heartbeat. Malik's heartbeat, sustained by Naoki's repeated ends. It was a parasitic immortality.
All this time, I was feeding him. Every birthday death was just another meal.
Kill me, and the curse ends. You'll die at midnight, and this time there will be no reset. A real, final death.
Then I'll be free. For the first time in 47 cycles, I'll be free.
Free to die, yes. But your family will mourn a son who never got to live past his birthday. You'll trade endless life for a few hours of goodbyes.
One more death, but this time it will be real. No cake, no reset, just the end.
Naoki stared at the mage. understanding now that victory and defeat had the same price. To end the curse, he had to choose his own final death.
I was no villain. Boy, your grandfather struck first. I only turned his kill into my life. This curse was my last spell, refined over centuries.
Is there any other way? Anything that doesn't end with me dead or you still leeching?
None. You either die tonight forever, or keep dying to feed me until the end of time.
The silence that followed was absolute. The last thread of desperate hope snapped clean.
Mom, her smile when she placed the cake. She doesn't know any of this. Dad would nod and tell me to make the choice that lets me rest. But he'd never understand.
Sentiment. That's why you'll never do it. You'll go home, die at midnight, and wake up tomorrow, wishing me happy birthday.
I've died 47 times. Each death was a scream that nobody heard. This one, I could make it matter.
The weight of 47 lifetimes pressed down, and for a long moment, Naoki did not move.
Then I'll trade. One final death for 47 stolen days.
Malik's laugh rattled against the stone walls, then fell into a stunned silence. Naoki did not flinch.
47 deaths. I remember each one. The endless monotony of pain, the same cake, the same death.
He saw the loops, the birthday table, the reset, his mother's confused smile. A life of echoes.
If I loop forever, they'll never know me. They'll never mourn, but they'll never truly have a son. They'll be trapped in a lie.
The weight of that truth crushed the last hesitation, leaving only cold purpose.
Better to be dead than a ghost. Better to give them a real goodbye.
He lifted his hand. Lightning gathered, tracing the shape of a blade.
I am ending this.
The runes on his collar pulsed in protest, but he didn't stop.
One strike. Then I go home.
Malik's smirk shattered. Real terror twisted his ancient face for the first time in centuries.
Wait, I'll teach you immortality. You don't have to die. Spare me, and you can live forever.
I've lived long enough. I am choosing real death. Goodbye, Malik.
He drove the lightning blade deep into the mage's chest. Violet fire swallowed the chamber. Curse runes exploded from the walls, shattering like teeth. The throne cracked down the middle. Malik's scream choked into silence as his body dissolved into drifting sparks of gold. The 47 marks on Naoki's collar ignited, then began to vanish one by one, the curse unraveling. He staggered, bracing against the pain. A cold wave swept through him as his borrowed time ended.
I can feel it. A real death coming. No more loops, just this.
Naoki straightened, the last rune fading from his collar, and turned toward the tomb's exit. 7 hours remained. The tomb shuddered. Cracks raced through the ancient stone, and the ceiling began to rain rock. Naoki ran. He called the wind skill of his 28th death. A gale exploded from his palm, hurling him forward through the dust. Daylight blinded him as he burst through the entrance. The tomb sealed behind him with a final groan of stone. He dropped to one knee, gasping real air. But inside, a cold clock had started ticking down toward midnight.
6 hours. I have to move faster than I've ever moved.
He summoned the lightning speed of his 15th death and became a blur down the mountain path. Trees and rock formations streaked past. The wind screamed, but the miles to home still stretched impossibly far.
Don't think about the time. Just run. They're still at the table.
As the sun dipped below the horizon, the lights of the village flickered in the distance. He was close.
Home. I am coming.
Naoki burst through the dining room door, chest heaving, his dark clothes covered in tomb dust, and his expression shattered.
Naoki, where have you been? We've been worried sick all day.
Mom, Dad, I need to talk to you. Right now, it's more important than anything I've ever said.
Son, sit down. You look terrible.
Naoki staggered to the table and sank into his chair, the same chair he'd died in 47 times.
I know this sounds impossible, but please let me finish. Just listen.
His parents exchanged a bewildered glance, then nodded slowly. Akane's hand found Kaito's under the table.
I've been trapped in a loop, dying on my 20th birthday, over and over. 47 times. I've watched you smile as I died.
Akane's hand flew to her mouth, stifling a sob. Kaito's face went pale as death.
Today, I ended the curse. But there's a price. I am going to die tonight for real, and there won't be another reset.
Akane's tears fell silently at first, then in shuddering sobs. Kaito gripped the edge of the table until his knuckles went white.
Each loop reset the morning of my birthday. I died by monster claw, by curse, by accident, and each time I came back with a new skill. These marks on my collar, they were the tally. 47 deaths. They're burning away now.
There has to be another way, son. Something you missed. We can't just lose you tonight.
Dad, I mapped every rune, tried every trick. This was the only way. I made peace with it before I even left the tomb.
Naoki reached for both their hands. The simple touch sent fresh tears down his mother's cheeks.
I've spent 47 loops wanting to tell you. Please, let's just spend these hours together, as a real family.
Then let's eat the cake. You've never once had a bite, have you? Let's make this birthday count.
Naoki picked up his fork for the first time in 47 birthdays, his hand trembling, but his smile real.
This is what I wanted. Not power, not revenge, just this.
The family ate in a comfortable silence, punctuated only by the soft clink of forks and Akane's occasional sniffle.
Do you remember when you were 5 and tried to blow out the candles before the song ended? You nearly set the tablecloth on fire.
I remember. You screamed, and Dad dumped the whole pitcher of water on the cake. We ate soggy sponge for a week.
Kaito laughed, a raw and rusty sound, and reached across to squeeze Naoki's hand until it ached.
I wish I'd known earlier, son. Every birthday you'd go so quiet. I thought it was just becoming an adult.
You gave me a reason to keep trying. Every loop, I wanted to come back to this table. To you.
The grandfather clock ticked past 11:50. The candles on the cake had burned to stubs, their wax pooling like golden tears.
We still haven't sung. Not a real birthday song. Not the one that counts.
Naoki closed his eyes, listening to his mother's trembling soprano and his father's deep bass. For the first time in 47 cycles, he let himself truly hear it.
This is the best birthday I've ever had.
The grandfather clock ticked its last minutes. Naoki's breath slowed, and he reached for his parents' hands once more.
Thank you for every birthday, for waiting every time I came back. You kept me human.
Please, don't go. We just got you back. I can't lose you again.
You are the bravest man I've ever known. We'll be here. We'll always be here.
It's time. No pain. Just quiet.
The clock struck midnight, its chime a solemn knell. Naoki's hand went limp in his mother's grasp. The fork slipped from his fingers, clattering softly onto the plate. For the first time, the loop did not reset. Akane's wail shattered the silence. She clutched her son's still chest, her tears washing over his peaceful face. Kaito cradled Naoki's head, his own tears falling unchecked. The birthday cake sat forgotten, its candles long since extinguished. Naoki's expression held, even in death, the quiet relief of someone who had finally, truly lived. Morning light crept across the dining table, illuminating an envelope that had not been there the night before. Akane's trembling fingers picked up the letter. The wax seal bore a simple runic emblem. She read the address, to Mother. A sob caught in her throat at the familiar handwriting. To Mother, if you are reading this, the curse is broken and I am gone. 47 times I died on my birthday, and 47 times I opened my eyes to your smile. I did not suffer. I chose this ending because I finally lived today, because of your love. Tears spilled onto the parchment, but Akane's lips curved into a small, trembling smile. She pressed the letter to her chest, as if holding Naoki himself. A fragile peace settled over her. By the window, a faint golden shimmer outlined Naoki's form, smiling, then fading into the morning sun. The curse was ended. Naoki's love remained, sealed in ink and memory, as the sun rose on a day without reset. Kaito found her by the window, the letter still clutched to her heart, tears silvering her cheeks.
He left this for us. Read it.
Kaito read, his jaw tightening, then releasing. He chose to die so we could finally know him.
That boy suffered more than we'll ever understand, and he still chose us.
We raised a man of courage. We have to be proud, even through the tears.
They sat in the space Naoki had left behind. The empty chair, a quiet testament. On the back of the chair hung Naoki's crimson coat, its collar clean of golden marks, only faint scars remaining. For a breath, a golden shimmer. Naoki's smile hovered over them, then faded with the dawn.
Every birthday, we'll light a candle for him. He gave us a real goodbye.
And in the quiet of that morning, the house felt not empty, but full of a love that no curse could extinguish. Months later, the letter hung in a simple wooden frame on the dining room wall. Akane touched the glass each morning, a quiet ritual of remembrance. His words remained, a testament that love endures beyond even the cruelest magic. He had chosen a single true death over 1,000 stolen resets. In that choice, he found what the curse could never give him, meaning his parents grieved, but they grieved in peace, knowing the truth and his love. They honored his choice, and in doing so, honored him. And so, the curse was turned into a blessing, a final gift of closure and freedom that no reset could steal. Naoki's endless cycle was broken, and in its place, a quiet legacy of defiance and love began. He chose to live once, rather than die endlessly. Before the curse, before the loops, there was a little boy who just wanted cake. He would blow out candles, frosting smeared on his cheek, and the world was simple.
Happy birthday, Naoki.
47 times that same boy died, and 47 times he woke to that voice. He endured, he learned, he grew stronger, not for power, but to make this moment real. And in his final hours, he sat at the same table, and he finally ate the cake. He left a letter for his mother, words that broke her heart and healed it. He wrote that he loved them, that he chose this ending, and that he had no regrets. The curse that stole his life became the thread that wove his courage. On his 47th birthday, Naoki broke the loop, and for the first time, he truly lived. In the years that followed, the letter remained on the wall, a quiet monument to a son's final gift. Akane and Kaito grew old together, but they never stopped celebrating his birthday. They told his story, the boy who turned a curse into a gift of love. On every 21st of spring, a single candle burned in the dining room. Naoki's spirit did not haunt them. It watched over them in quiet golden moments. His crimson coat, now hung on the chair, bore no marks, only the memory of scars. For 47 cycles, he died, but in the 48th, he chose to live. And that single day of truth was worth more than 1,000 resets. He taught them that love is not measured in time, but in the courage to let go. This is the story of Naoki, the boy who broke his curse by dying so that he could finally live.